Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you that thing that we tend to do. Yes, it's that time again where there be whisperings of a balanced data slate on the horizon. Uh, this time, I'll be honest, the Christmas list for me is looking a bit light. Finally, thankfully, the things in Tyranids currently, because of what people are bringing, doesn't feel terrible. So there's not too many changes. In fact, I only have like I don't know if I'll call it five. You'll see why. But there's a couple of tweaks that I think would be nice to have as we come up this holiday season. Starting with one ask that is not for me. It's for apparently the newer players that seem to love this model. I think it's okay, but I I gotta admit, I have seen once again another Reddit thread. This one was a couple weeks ago, but I've seen it quite a few times, like every few months. Seems like somebody makes this Reddit thread. Like, hey guys, I just got these models. I got the starter box or this box, that box, and this guy. He looks cool. I think he looks interesting. Please tell me that that he's good. And everybody in the comment section looks like the fucking SpongeBob meme, where it's like, who's gonna tell him? Because it's like, why at this point in the game is this thing still 80 points? I would hope that the points come down. You know, when GW does that little, oh, we're gonna blow on it, whew, just like a little whew, to act like we cared about your faction this go around. Please make the Parasite of Mortrix that. I am begging that this time it gets something. I've asked for an invulnerable save because it is Synapse. That way there could be at least the same level of follow through on that end, but that's still not quite right either. So, well, we'll come to that. Hopefully it gets an invuln, hopefully it gets cheaper. And I would like parasitic infection to not rely on the barbed ovipositor. Just just make it if it kills something. Like just come on. Like it did some attacks, and then it just so happened to do a little like right little at the end there, and then there's Ripper Swarms. You've brought down the Neurolictors. I can pretty confidently say that if you bring the Parasite of Mortrix down, it'll be just a Lictor side grade, if that. Right? Just make it 60 points. There's no reason that this thing should be more expensive than a Lictor, in my humble opinion. Parasite of Mortrix, Death Leaper, Neurolictor. Let people have fun with the idea for the holidays. Next up, another one that isn't so much for me, but more so for kind of everybody. Everybody that plays Tyranids seems to be like born with the Carnifex, right? You have players that have been playing the faction for who knows how long. That's like, oh, this is my 30th Carnifex because it's a staple of the army. And there's still no reason for this shit to be 115 per. Yes, it had something funny happen about 2 weeks ago where it got some placements with an interesting Carnifex list, right? Or Carnifex inclusion. But it'd be nice if there was a realistic way to have the conversation of, do I bring a Carnifex or two without Old One Eye? Make them hit on threes, make them cheaper. We'll be fine. It is a T9 monster with 8 wounds and a 2-up save, no invuln. It will be okay if we can have genuine distraction Carnifexes again. It is 10 points cheaper than a Haruspex. I'm taking the Haruspex. Make the Carnifexes cheaper, GW, please. Pretty please. And then, next up, one that is kinda for me. Finally, we get to my list, I guess. On my list on my channel, I guess. Psychophage. If you're not going to bring back the Feel No Pain, I see GW is a little iffy on that ruling. All right, make it cheaper. It was perfectly fine when it did a little bit more, uh, and we barely took the damn thing. We tried at 110. GW saw we tried. Can't say that we didn't fucking try our asses off to make this thing work. And unfortunately, I feel a lot of people had their hearts a little bit broken when it turns out trying to fit another 120 by 92 millimeter base on a portion of the board to get plus 1 AP in melee, it just is juice not worth the squeeze for 110 points. So, drop this sucker down. I would like if this fucker was down to who knows. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Bring this motherfucker down, please. To I don't know, 90 something, 85. Going once, going twice. I don't fucking know. Please bring it down. Then Tyranid warriors with melee bioweapons. Please give them a 3-up save. Preferably the same Synapse Invuln thing, so that warrior bioform onslaught. With the advent of the Tyranid Prime with Last Whip, that notably doesn't have a bone sword for whatever reason, will feel better. You get a jump on that now, so we can start practicing warrior bioform onslaught and feel less bad about it. The price? Who knows, right? Because here's the other thing that I think that you need to buff the warriors, because there is genuinely at this point, why are you doing it over Raveners? Why are you doing it? They deep strike, they're just better for most intensive purposes, right? No rerolls innately. But they're just better. So when I look at the Warriors, 75 for 3, then I go over here and look at Raveners, 125 for 5. Yeah, you'd go, yeah, it's 25 each. We can do math around here. But they deep strike. They have 10 inches of movement. I can get them into the combat I so seek. So, please, melee warriors, if you're not going to be faster, I would like to deliver them into combat. And do combat well enough for the price. 75 for 3 just isn't cutting it. But that's how what it currently does now. If their save was a bit better, I think it'd be fine. And then maybe there's a real conversation of, well, do I want a Tyranid Prime with that slice of 3 models? Because we're definitely not taking the bricks anymore because we have a better brick. 125 for 5, 150 for 6. Right? We have a better brick. It deep strikes. Right? Like that's step number 1 to being better. I can get it into combat. It has a 10-inch movement. Even if I don't deep strike them, there we go. And they can get the fuck out of there if there's an issue. So, warriors with melee bioweapons. I'm hoping. Boy, am I hoping. Something for the holidays. And finally, going out with Pitter. Not a bang. Sorry. The other ones. The ranged ones. Please make these fuckers hit on 3s. Now, here's the thing about it, right? I would say the same save thing that I've been saying this entire time. But I understand that GW tends to make the thing that is ranged a little bit weaker in the defensive profile because game design. Right? Right. But I want a reason to take these. I still don't have that reason. Could you give me another reason and maybe a ranged detachment for Grodmish? Maybe. But as it currently stands, we still don't have a reason to take these things. We still don't. I would like a reason to take them. We have them. They're an old model. We've had them for a while. I would like ranged warriors to be semi-useful before we get the more melee prime compared to the melee prime we already have. So yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping for. Pretty short this time around, thankfully. I don't necessarily love when I look at the entire roster and I go, damn, and that could fucking change. But, you know, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, and slowly as the edition ends, too. But with that, I still think Synapse giving a Synaptic Shield for an Invuln, a thing we should probably continue to do, right? Like, or just make it consistent. Because I've seen too many people get confused by that because that's what they're expecting. I think there's no reason for it to not do that. Honestly, a 4-up save on things with Synapse, fine. Like, innate Synapse. I don't think it's the end of the world for those to not have that, quite frankly. Um, might change hyper adapted Raveners to be even better, I guess, but out of this list. And the Brewlord, right? Well, no. Hyper adapted Raveners. But yeah, I think it'd be fine. So game wide change, I just want that to even out, and overall change this to a 3, please. Change this to a 3, please. Change this to a 3, please. And make these fuckers cheaper. Like, whatever. Maybe make this a 3 too. Damn it, 3 is the lucky number somewhere, probably. I don't know. But yeah, uh, that's all I really got on this one. If anybody else has a different ask, I am curious, considering where we are in the game right now. If you have a different ask per se, but yeah, that's that's it for me. So if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, mom monstrosities.